High school, deemed as the best 4 years of your life by some and the worst 4 by others, is a rite of passage that teens throughout the world invest themselves in before adulthood. Though challenging tests and looming due dates upset the majority of the high school population, the extracurricular opportunities schools provide are considered a way to improve school integrity and maintain school culture, as well as relieve some of the stress created in maintaining a modern-day education. With any club, sport, or activity, a great deal of trust is placed on students to behave responsibly and in a way that well represents them, their team, and their school. Unfortunately, this trust is frequently violated, both in schools and in extracurricular activities. In an effort to prevent these disturbances from reoccurring, school administration has policies in place to handle behavioral issues of any size. In this documentary, we will be examining the behavioral policies instilled at Cheyenne High School and how it affects staff, administration, and students. This is Behavioral Response in Our Schools. To learn how our peers felt about the behavioral policies our school has in place, we first asked them what they knew about the policies. Though we interviewed many of our peers, the average answer sounded like this.
I guess I don't know much about the behavioral policies in our school, but from experiences with other people, I know that they don't necessarily think that it's adequate in addressing the problem.
In an effort to better understand why students felt this way, as well as to clarify the procedures our administration and staff use to address behavioral issues, we decided to sit down with one of our assistant principals, Mr. Salisbury, to talk about the issue.
We have a leveled behavior chart of sorts for behaviors, interventions, responses. And so it goes level 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on every level we have 4 categories. A, reteaching behavioral skills. We do have restorative practices built in as another category. Category C, creating an action plan or providing a consequence. Then category D is optional administrative actions that could result in removing a student from instruction. Here I think our common thoughts on suspension, expulsion isn't always the right answer. But if we do have to go that way, how are we going to make sure it's productive time? So what are we going to do to show them that, no, you can't behave that way, but we are still going to help you get educated?
Though administration's goal is to help students who have been suspended or expelled continue with their education, many difficulties prevail. According to a 2009 survey from the National Center for Education Statistics, only 8.8% of students who have been suspended or expelled felt school engagement. Only 15.5% of that population felt a sense of school belonging. In addition to this, almost 50% of high school students who had been suspended or expelled at least once had a GPA below 2.0. 55% of these students did not graduate high school.
Something I'd like to see changed or improved, most definitely 100%, having mental health services available in our buildings. Having that level of support is one thing we're missing.
Mr. Salisbury's concern for the lack of mental health services in our school is extremely warranted. As stated on the website for the National Association of School Psychologists, 1 out of 5 children has a diagnosable mental health disorder. The website also stated that schools are an ideal place to provide mental health services to children and youth because school mental health services support the mission and purpose of schools, to learn. Mr. Salisbury also showed us his PowerPoint presentation, which he uses to present to other staff and administration on how to effectively work with students who present behavioral difficulties. Overall, we can conclude that administration has planned policies in place to handle all sorts of behavioral situations. Though we are aware that many students are upset with these policies, we learned that they can be individualized in a way that makes both the student and the school satisfied. Now that we have seen and heard from an administrator on this problem, let us now hear from a student who has been affected by this directly and is extremely upset over how it's been handled. Meet Damien, also known as Damo. Known for his sense of humor and great personality, Damo is the life of the party and loved by many friends. Early on, Damo realized that participating in the activities wasn't his thing. So instead, Damo decided to become an active member of his school by attending the school activities. But soon, he found himself in trouble. Due to his poor behavior, Damo was banned from attending all school activities. To get a better understanding, we decided to interview him. Here is Damo's story.
Mom! My name is Damien Stephan. I'm a junior in high school, and I got kicked out from all sport events because I to a ref at a basketball game. Yes, I have think that the administration has treated me unfairly because they kicked me out of all those school events. So, yeah, I'm kind of upset about that. I'm mad about it, you know, don't like it, but, you know, what do you do?
How do you spend your days now that you can't go to sporting events?
Well, usually I come home, play some Fortnite, watch some Netflix, you know, and then hang out with friends mostly, too.
We're friends.
We then asked our peers for their opinions on Damo's situation, as well as how they feel about activities at our school, to hear a new perspective on the issue.
How do you feel about Damien Stephan's punishment?
I feel like that it was justified at first, but I think that he should get some of his rights back. I mean, the behavior is ridiculous, but if he goes in and apologizes, I think that he's all good to go.
I'm not really familiar with Damien's situation, but I do know that he tends to act out a lot.
I don't really know much about the situation with Damien, also known as Damo, but this is really hard for me to talk about.
It was at this moment that April knew she had to speak out.
One time I was sitting at lunch and suddenly I hear this thing flying across the room and the next thing I know, there was Caesar salad dressing in my hair.
Though this incident did occur, April still wanted to advocate for our school's activities.
I think that participating in school activities and such is greatly impactful to people because it allows them to not just like share the academic side of it, but also the social, and you're able to not just benefit yourself but benefit the school as well.
Going to school events like sports games or dances is something we all look forward to, even like as we like become freshmen. I think prom is something that everyone looks forward to especially.
It is true that the more involved a student is in their school's activities, the more successful they are. This fact comes from Kumon, a business dedicated to education and bettering students' education resources. Kumon argues that participating in activities during your childhood gives you skills that will last you a lifetime. These skills, such as building self-esteem, setting goals, exploring diverse interests, and learning time management and prioritizing, can quickly translate from playing or spectating a sport to making an impact in your everyday life. In short, school activities are something everyone in high school looks forward to.
Just want to go to the school activities, have some fun, watch my boys play whatever sport they're playing, you know.
And though behavioral mistakes are made, one can only hope that they will be forgiven so that they can enjoy this integral part of high school.
I would love one more chance.
From the perspective of an administrator, handling behavioral issues in our school is a tough but necessary task. Though administration puts forth their best attempt at creating an individualized and effective behavioral plan, many complications arise. Part of the difficulty in erasing the problem stems from the lack of mental health resources for students within schools. This is an issue Mr. Salisbury is hoping to solve in the next few years for Cheyenne. From the perspective of a student affected by behavioral consequences, though inappropriate actions can oftentimes be unwarranted, the need for an opportunity to ask for forgiveness is necessary. Participating and attending high school activities is a vital part of the high school experience. Though a mistake was made, the repercussions should not affect the rest of a student's high school experience, so long as the behavioral plan is being followed. Overall, Cheyenne High School is a place that offers many opportunities for students, both in school and out. With these opportunities comes a trust from adults that can easily be broken and result in harsh consequences.